G'day, Len here. Welcome to another episode. Let's set some frames. Me about there. You got your rat wheel on? Yep. So we use Tex screws to fix our frames together temporarily. Now the reason we do that is because when we come to plumb our frames in the next day or two, if we need to move a frame, it's so much easier than having to de-nail it. But once that's all plumbed and straight, then we go and nail it off. Alright, so we're getting plenty of the internal frames done. So basically we measure and mark on the slab where they are and then chalk them if they're long ash walls, and mark the top of the frame as well, and then screw them on just like we did the external walls, and then later on we'll come and plumb everything. So I went out to Prebbleton this morning just to do a couple of little things. James got a head start on me here, so what he's done this morning is gone around and pinned down the perimeter so that it's straight, so that I don't need to worry about that when I'm bolting it down. He's also gone around and marked where the type of lintel fixing, so I know where the Handibracs are going, and also the bracing unit, so I know where those Handibracs are going. What I've done is gone around and screw down just with one screw where my Handibracs are going, and that way it makes it clearer where I need to put the bolts. I prefer to go around and drill a whole bunch of holes first, then go through, blow them out, and then hammer in the bolts and tighten them. Just means otherwise I'm carrying around 3 or 4 tools, power tools, rather than just 1 or 2 at a time. And you're not constantly changing tools as well. Need to be careful if you're going to use a sledgehammer, because you can bend the bolts and then you can't get the nut on. Right. One down, probably in excess of 100 easy to go. Awesome. James is just pinning down the internal bracing units. So I've put a hold down bolt here because, well, there's actually a stud there, and if I went over here where I would ideally have liked to go, that's too far from the end. The maximum was 150, so put one under here, and I've had to chisel this out to accommodate. Anyway, let's see how this fits. Sweet, perfect. Let's nail it off, huh? Alright, so I've talked a bit about Handibracs before. They serve a twofold purpose. They hold the stud down to the bottom plate, and they hold the bottom plate down to the foundation. The alternative way of doing it is putting a bolt in there in the CPC 80 up there, but this is just an easy way of doing it and it's a lot quicker. Now with these bolts, because they're not expansion bolts and they're quite long, sometimes you need to take a few attempts and you need to drill your hole slightly deeper, because as it goes in, it cuts into the concrete and pushes it down into the hole. We also need to make sure your hole's quite clean to start with, but if it's not right, you can always pull it out. Not too worried about inhaling the dust because we're out in the open, but if I was indoors, I would definitely be wearing a mask. Yep, that's hard down. And then it just needs 4 little check screws in the top there. A few times I had to deliver replacement beams because I'd cut them 90 short or 180 short, 50, 60, 5 metres 60. Now always dock the other end first. These ends are usually not square. Oh, beautiful, look at that. There we are. So the Handibracs over here are for a bracing unit, a GSP, which is jib on the inside and ply on the outside, and one over here is for lintel fixing. So the reason why it needs fixing down is because basically there's no studs in the middle here, so any uplift on that is going to be transferred to the studs either side. You need to make an extra effort to get them fixed down properly. Right, so I've got one Handibrac that I need to take a stud out to actually get to put it on. This house is actually pretty good in that regard. A lot of houses I've worked on are going to do this umpteen times. But yeah, so far this is the only one, and it doesn't even need to go under the stud fully. Alright, so my plan here is to, because I know that the centre of these studs isn't nailed on yet, I can just cut these blocks out with a saw saw or reciprocating saw, same thing. And then I need to basically move that stud over enough that I can get in there. Getting the screws on is going to be fun. Wondering actually if I do take the whole stud out, it's probably easier. We've only got one straight edge, so what I'm going to do is go around and put the lintel fixings on. While we've got time today, because we'll probably be somewhere else tomorrow. So it's pretty simple. You look at the plan as to what type of lintel fixing is going where. Now, James has gone around and labelled them already, which makes life easier. And then you look on another plan for the specifications for that type of lintel fixing. So the way I like to do it is take a lintel fixing and then go around and do all of them all at once. And that way you're not dealing with different ways of doing things and umpteen different lots of hardware. This one here is a type F fixing, so we look at our plan and go, okay, it's this type. So we'll just go and nail them on. Because it's brick cladding, we can put all the fixings on outside and we don't need to worry about checking them in. For this, it's two of these smaller plates. So I got all the F-type fixings on, which are really quick and easy, and I started the G's, but the day has drawn to a close. So we're going to head off back to Prebbleton to do a few small jobs tomorrow, because it's not really worth coming here just to do that. And next week we'll be back here, and then probably do those fixings and all the other stuff that goes with that. Fun times. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers!